Good morning, good morning, good morning. Thank you for joining me today. And I'm going to take this mask off since we are in a little bit bigger space. The state of Georgia is back in the news again and again for all of the wrong reasons. The 95-page bill known as SB 202 was signed into law as a regressive, retaliatory, and preemptive solution to a problem that did not exist and to address fraud that did not occur. Simply put, this law requires an ID number, like a driver's license, to apply for an absentee ballot. It cuts off absentee ballot applications 11 days before an election. It limits the number of absentee ballot drop boxes, and it disallows volunteers from giving away food and drink to voters waiting in lines. And probably the most discouraging and the most damning to me is that this law allows the state to take control of what it deems to be underperforming local election systems. Now, what does that mean? I don't know. The timing and the urgency and the swiftness of this legislation could not be more obvious. For a state with a record number of people participating in the most previous electoral process, a law is now in place to hinder people from fully participating in the electoral process. You cannot change rules that you set just because it did not yield the results that you wanted. But this is what seems to have happened in Georgia last week. If we are working hard to make Georgia the best place to do business, we should be working hard together to make Georgia the best place to vote. The eyes of the nation are once again upon Georgia, and the unintended consequences of this action by our friends in Atlanta could be severe. And certainly you all have reported on these extensively, including tourism, a vibrant film industry, tech jobs, the World Cup, the All-Star Game, the Masters, and other events. This deeply concerns me as the mayor of Georgia's mother city, as what happens in the Gold Dome in Atlanta certainly affects what happens under the Gold Dome here in Savannah. If we don't make Georgia one of the best places to vote in America, Georgia could become one of the worst places in which to do business in America. And this helps no one. In fact, it hurts everyone. Personally, as I've said, there are some of my favorite products that I will not buy, some of my favorite businesses that I will not patronize, and some of my favorite airlines that I will not fly until they live up to their claims and promises of social responsibility. I'm asking that voting rights in America are intentionally and fervently protected, and I'm asking that the U.S. Senate prioritizes SB 1. We also need the U.S. House to prioritize the John Lewis Voting Rights Advancement Act. And thankfully, I know that our 2 Georgia senators and at least 6 of our Georgia representatives will deliver on that priority. Our 2 Georgia senators are in town today, so I will have the opportunity to share my concerns with them directly later in the day. In other news, all Georgians 16 years old and older are now eligible to get a COVID-19 vaccine. Savannah's drive-through mass vaccination center on the Gulfstream campus is open Tuesday through Saturday from 8 a.m. to 5 o'clock p.m. The address for the site is 2 Innovation Drive. You do not need an appointment to get a shot, but you can make one if you prefer by visiting myvaccinegeorgia.com, myvaccine.org. savannah-georgia.com. Free transportation to the site is available to those without a way to get there. You can call 912-856-4563, 912-856-4563, Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. to reserve a free ride. Ride reservations must be made by 3 p.m. the day before you get your shot. ADA accessible vans and buses are available for those who need them. The City of Savannah is working with Gulfstream and local healthcare providers to open a mass vaccination site at the Savannah Civic Center. We're working out some final details, and we will share more information about this effort sometime tomorrow afternoon. If you're looking for a COVID-19 vaccine appointment at a pharmacy or local health department, visit dph.georgia.gov, dph.georgia.gov, and click on COVID-19 vaccine. You will see options to register for an appointment at several major pharmacies like Walgreens and Walmart, and you will find also other local providers there. And please don't forget to share your vaccine photos with us on social media using the hashtags VAX, V-A-X, up Savannah, and hashtag Savannah Strong. Starting tomorrow, walk-up COVID-19 testing will be available at the Savannah Civic Center on Wednesdays and Thursdays only from 8:30 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. Drive-through testing will be available at the Civic Center on Mondays, Tuesdays, Fridays, and 2 Saturdays per month. No appointment is needed to get a COVID test, but you can pre-register at covidtestsavannah.com, covidtestsavannah.com. Based on the latest data, our current infection rate is 8.6 cases per 100,000 people. We've averaged fewer than 10 cases per day since March the 16th, our lowest infection rate since November. Our current 7-day rolling average is 25.1, and again, the last time we saw averages in the 20s was in November. Now, that being said, we're looking at places around the country that are looking at now a 4th surge. And we also recognize that we are now welcoming people from across the country that are coming from places where these numbers are indeed rising. And one only need to look at media footage from across the country that see that some people are still not taking this seriously. So it's important for us to stay steady. It's important for us to continue the science and continue following the science. And it's important for us not to give up health for expediency. That being said, we do recognize a favorable downward trend. So therefore, city recreational fields and public playgrounds currently closed will reopen on Thursday, April the 1st. Social distancing, where possible, is encouraged. And again, this is looking at the data and looking at where we are. As you know, the current city orders were through March the 31st, and so it's reasonable, particularly with spring break here, that our young people have a place to play, and some of our older people. We need to get out and work out some of that COVID weight that we've put on over the last year. Further, events up to 50 people will be permitted on a case-by-case basis starting on April the 1st, provided that specific criteria is met. Right now, we're permitting events up to 25 people, so again, we're gradually, very slowly, very methodically moving toward what our new normal will be. We will continue to monitor this situation, and we will make adjustments where necessary. Upon further examination and analysis of the data, the city manager will soon announce a plan to return city employees back to city offices incrementally, and again to expand city operations where possible while following the science. Savannah's mask mandate will remain in place until further notice, so continue to wear your masks. The federal eviction moratorium has been extended to June the 30th. And so while this is welcome news for those that are struggling, I encourage those of you that are in need to take advantage of the opportunities for help that are available now. We've talked about the Mediation Center of the Coastal Empire and their partnership with the City of Savannah, with the Economic Opportunity Authority, with the United Way of the Coastal Empire, and Georgia Legal Services to offer a variety of mediation services free for private, non-subsidized landlord-tenant cases in Savannah and Chatham County. The Mediation Center and community partners anticipate that landlord-tenant mediation can resolve COVID-related disputes without initiating embarrassing, time-consuming, and costly eviction proceedings. The landlord and tenant must both agree to mediate, and the free sessions are only available through April the 1st. So you can request a mediation while space is available at mediationsavannah.com/landlord-tenant. mediationsavannah.com/landlord-tenant. If you need help paying your rent or your utilities, the Chatham County Emergency Rental Assistance Program provides assistance to qualified recipients. This fund helps tenants pay up to 3 months of past due balances for rent or utility bills obtained from March of 2020 to now. The loss of income must be directly related to the COVID-19 pandemic. To learn more about emergency rental assistance, please contact the United Way at 211 or uwce.org/CCERA, uwce.org/CCERA. And you can reach the EOA at 912-438-8077, 912-438-8077. This year, the Savannah-Chatham County Sustainability Coalition is establishing a new tradition and will celebrate Earth Day during the entire month of April. So now we have Earth Month. And Earth Month will feature virtual and small in-person events like weekly walks with the Savannah Tree Foundation, bird watching in Forsyth Park with the Ageechee Audubon Society, and the Children's Museum mobile guarding visiting Savannah's East Side. A full calendar of events are available at earthdaysavannah.org/events, earthdaysavannah.org/events. Earth Day Savannah is also promoting the city's transition to safe, clean, renewable energy, which will increase economic opportunity, improve community health and well-being, and protect our natural environment. To learn more about the city's clean energy resolution, visit savannahga.gov/clean energy, savannahga.gov/clean energy. That ends my prepared remarks, and I will entertain any questions you may have. Thank you.
Good morning, Mr. Mayor.
Good morning.
So I know throughout all of this, the governor and you haven't necessarily seen eye to eye. He announced, I believe it was Friday, Thursday, he was looking to roll back some COVID restrictions throughout the state. Is that something that you're worried about? Is that something that you feel is aligned with what you plan to do on April 1st?
Well, I think the President of the United States was absolutely clear. The head of the CDC was absolutely clear. She said she was scared. Dr. Fauci was absolutely clear. We need to make sure that when we're rolling back in accordance with science. Hence, you see our rollbacks are based on a gradual and incremental loss in new cases. I hope they don't. Our mask mandate will remain in place, and we will continue to enforce that. We just got other. We've come too far. People have worked too hard. People have lost too much. They sacrificed too much, and we don't want to become Miami Beach. Where now, and then across the state, you look at Washington State, you look at New York State, and you see these numbers starting to trend back up. I'm hoping he doesn't. And then certainly, again, we'll react as we need to protect Savannah and to keep Savannah safe.
And do you plan to reach out to him or have any conversations before Thursday?
Again, the nature of our conversations or the way we've learned about things was we learned about them in press conferences like everybody else. So again, mayors of the state are watching, and again, I think that we'll do what it takes to keep our cities safe. And so if that means that we institute stricter orders, then we'll be prepared to do that. If that means we have to litigate that, then perhaps we might be willing to do that as well. But at the end of the day, we're going to keep our citizens safe. We're going to do all we can to do that.
And you had touched on the event permits as well as reopening the city recreational parks. I know last week you had said possibly filtering in employees back into the buildings. Is that something that you're putting on hold, or is that something that you plan to do?
No, it's happening. Again, it is an organization with 2,600 employees, with people working in different areas. It's kind of challenging. So city manager is working on a plan. We would have announced it today. He's not ready to do that, so that's why we will give him additional time. And again, I think the other thing, back to your first question, is the city issues permits, not the state. So again, if those types of things happen, we might have to pull back on some of the allowances we've made. We might have to stop permitting events. We might have to close our public parks. We don't want to have to do that stuff. But we'll do what we have to keep our citizens safe. So I'm hoping that the governor and whoever he's listening to will consider the progress we've been able to make as we try to get toward herd immunity.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Morning, sir.
Good morning. I see you looking at the cell phone. Here it comes.
We got the city center, we already touched on that, now offering vaccines. How vital is that? I know you talked about wanting to have something more centralized in downtown, but you have to reiterate the importance of that option now being available to citizens.
Oh, I mean, I think the value of the Savannah Civic Center cannot be underestimated. First of all, it's a place that everyone knows. Secondly, it's very accessible through a variety of modes of transportation. It has parking. People can walk from the downtown core there. And so we recognize, although we don't control the mass vaccination sites, that we can partner to provide something local for Savannians. And so this, I think, fits the bill and allows people to become vaccinated. And so we're glad to be a part in helping that to happen.
Should, and I'm just throwing a crystal ball to know exactly what the rollback will look like at the state level, but if it calls for allowing, say, events, concerts, things like that inside of venues like the Civic Center, is that something you'd be comfortable allowing?
We will not allow events in the Civic Center. Again, we own that. We own that. And so our position will be until the sign says that it's so to be able to do so, then, for example, I was in New York over the weekend, and, Yankee Stadium on April 1st will open at 20% capacity. Citi Field, where the Mets play, will do it on the 8th. Again, beginning of baseball season, we get it. For us, we're fighting a different battle. Our numbers are different. And so I don't want to do anything on our end that risk the progress that we've made. And so, the rollbacks might occur at the state level, and we still control Savannah, and we'll do what's necessary to protect Savannians.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Anything else? Okay, well, I'm enjoying my Nestle water today. And that's a conscious choice. So, thank you all for all that you do. And we recognize that this is Passover. So to all of our Jewish friends here in Savannah, we wish them a very happy holiday and happy Passover. And then for those Christians in our community, we recognize this is a significant week of the Holy Week. Today's Holy Tuesday, of course, Holy Good Friday, and then, of course, Resurrection or Easter Sunday on Sunday, so we certainly wish them all those holy days as well. Thank you all so much. May God bless you, and may God continue to bless the city of Savannah.